So we have this story from Not the Bee, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. So this is being signed by North Carolina governor, which could allow the state to resume executions by firing squad. It is being called Irynya's Law. And all of you should know who Iryna Zarutska is. She was the woman that was brutally murdered by a random individual on a train. No interaction, just random, senseless killing. Last week, Governor Josh Stein, a Democrat, was essentially forced to sign a new law implementing sweeping overhauls to North Carolina's justice system, which has been modified in recent years to favor liberal talking points about equity and reparations, aka communism. The law, House Bill 307, was named in honor of Ukrainian refugee Iryna Zarutska, whose throat was savagely cut by a repeat felon who had no business being anywhere near the public. North Carolina House passes Irynya's Law with a veto-proof majority. This major legislation ends cashless bail for violent offenders and closes dangerous loopholes, a direct response to the tragic killing of Iryna Zarutska. Not even the Democrat governor can block this now. Despite said veto-proof majority, Stein dragged his feet in signing the bill, so much so that the North Carolina GOP skewered him in an email campaign. This is from the North Carolina GOP statement on Irynya's Law for immediate release. With hours to spare, Governor Josh Stein finally signed Irynya's Law. While this is a welcome development, we are left to wonder what took so long. According to Stein himself, he said his one test relating to criminal justice legislation was, will it make North Carolina safer? If the answer is yes, why delay action? For 9 days, the tools available in Irynya's Law were unable to be used within the justice system. Governor Stein's reluctance to take action on Irynya's Law shows he cannot be trusted to do the right thing for North Carolina families. As a leader, decisive action was needed. Republican legislators acted immediately, while Governor Stein chose to belatedly act on a Friday afternoon. This is from the chairman, Jason Simmons of the North Carolina GOP. Irynya's Law eliminates cashless bail for violent felons. It also, and this is crucial, limits the ability of a judge to release said violent felons before their trials. Good. And I've long said this. Cash bail in general is absolutely ridiculous. If someone is accused of a violent crime, you do not let them out on a cash bail. You just hold them. You hold them until their trial. Quick and speedy trial, as the Constitution says, right? You give them a quick and speedy trial. You do not release them on their own. You do not release them on their own accord. You do not do that. If they are accused of doing something violent, you keep them locked up until it is proven that they are not violent. Guilty or innocent until proven guilty, right? But if you're suspected of committing a heinous crime and we have evidence to suggest that you did commit those heinous crimes, you should absolutely be held. I'm sorry. And if it turns out that you weren't the guy, I'm sorry, but that's just how things got to go. If there's evidence to say that you did this thing, we need to have a quick and speedy trial and find out how much of it is true and find out if you are actually the person. That's just how things need to go. Having a cash bail, we're like, oh yeah, pay us a certain amount of money and we'll let you back out on the streets. That's ridiculous. That just sounds like I'm bribing the government to be allowed to get out back on the streets and possibly go commit more crimes. It's ridiculous. The phenomenon has been a regular feature of liberal courtrooms in recent years, particularly with the rise of BLM's narrative that non-white people are unfairly incarcerated and punished by systemically racist policies. This has led to hundreds of stories in recent years where violent felons have been released on the streets. See here, and here. Wait, here. See here, and here. Or see this meme that essentially sums it up. This is not even an exaggeration. Your Honor, my client is too dumb to understand shooting someone is bad. Good point. Put him back into public. Well, literally, yeah. Accused criminals will also be required to undergo more robust mental health evaluations. There's another provision of Irynya's Law, however, that may come to affect her own accused killer, DeCarlos Brown Jr., who has been federally charged. This is from the New York Post. The bill included an amendment that could allow North Carolina to resume capital punishment, including by firing squad. Lethal injection is currently the only authorized method of execution in the state. This provision would bypass legal challenges that have paused execution in the state since 2006. For nearly 20 years, the most violent criminals in North Carolina have been allowed to live, denying justice because executions feel mean. In addition, the legislation would require death penalty appeals to be heard within 2 years of filing. The state currently has 122 inmates on death row, according to WCNC. Look, I'm in favor of the death penalty. If, without a shadow of a doubt, that someone committed some of these, look, I can go through a list of heinous crimes, but it's different for everyone. If someone commits a heinous crime that they will never be able to recover from, there's not going to be rehabilitation for some of these crimes. For example, Zarutska's killer. He's not going to be rehabilitated. There's never going to be a point where he could be trusted to go back into society. So he forfeits his life. He ended the life of a woman unjustly, without reason, and he could do it again. He could do it to someone in prison. He could do it to one of our many prison guards, and he could do it again. This man should not be breathing the same air as you and I. His crimes were captured on video. Witnesses saw him do this. There's no doubt in people's mind that this was the guy. So, in cases where we have, without a shadow of a doubt, this person did this bad thing, yes, execution, capital punishment. I think that is the right thing to do. I don't think the right thing to do is to stick them in a concrete box for the rest of their lives, especially in some of these cases where you have like 20-year-olds being sentenced to life. So now we're talking about having a 20-year-old in a concrete box with no hopes of ever getting out for the rest of his life. I think the kinder thing to do would to just be end his life. The kinder thing to do would just be to end his life. It's better for everyone involved. You don't have to make sure he gets 3 meals a day anymore, or 2 meals, however it goes in prison. I've never been to jail or prison. You no longer have to feed him every day. You no longer have to have multiple guards escorting him to and from places every day. You no longer have to take up space in a prison that could be held for less violent people or other criminals in general. There's many things that come from this. And if there is any doubt in anyone's mind, that if there is evidence that suggests that maybe he didn't do it, but there's overwhelming evidence that he did do it, sure, keep him life in prison. He doesn't need to get the death penalty if there is some doubt there. But in circumstances where, without a shadow of a doubt, we know this person did this heinous crime, heinous thing, end his life. I don't want him here. If convicted, DeCarlos Brown Jr. could be executed under the law named for Iryna by firing squad. Yes, and it should be televised. It should be televised, pay-per-view, and obviously do not let your children see it. But I'm in favor of public executions. Public executions, these people need to be in fear of committing crimes. They do not fear committing crimes, and that's why they continue to commit them. Governor Stein apparently had reservations with the idea of punishing evil men with lead poisoning, promising no one would be given the privilege of execution by firing squad while he remains governor. His term comes to an end after 2028. State Republicans had this to say in response. The capital punishment by firing squad is not a new concept. There have been so many challenges to medical capital punishment versus the gas chamber. Science is constantly changing, but one thing that hasn't changed in science is what happens with the firing squad. New Hanover County Republican Chairman John Hanantz told WECT, "I think we need to make the results and the punishment real. People need to know they're going to feel it. While it's an old practice, it's been deemed reliable as a deterrent. The sword is given to the governor for a reason." Yeah. So I'm in favor of public executions. Children should not see them, but I'm in favor of public executions. If you don't want to see them, you don't want your children to see them, don't watch them. But we should absolutely have them. Never been to jail, Tyler? That's some white privilege for you. Oh yeah, I always get told I have white privilege, especially in my town. I know tactical, it's discouraging. Make asylums great again. The judges are complicit. Yes, they are. How do you get witnesses with cashless bail and short sentences? I don't know. I don't know how you get I don't know how you get, like, there's all these people that witness the crime. Some of these crimes are on video, and then the judge comes in and they're just like, whatever, let them out, cashless bail, then they don't need to. Short sentence. Yeah, if he even does come back, we'll just give him a couple of years. Yeah, yeah. I talked about a story yesterday with Carol Baskin and what's called Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Tiger King, Joe Exotic. He is serving more time in prison right now or jail, whichever it is, for the hiring of a hitman to go and murder Carol Baskin, which the whole plan like fell apart, and there's questions as to whether or not it was even real. And then the guy that drove from, I think, California all the way to the East Coast or the West Coast, whichever it is, drove all the way to the other side of the country to attempt to assassinate a sitting Supreme Court justice, and that guy got barely 8 years. It was like 7.5 years. Joe Exotic is serving like 3 times the sentence, double the sentence, 3 times the sentence, double the sentence for Carol Baskin. So why is Carol Baskin's life worth more than the Supreme Court justice, especially when this guy had multiple weapons and showed up to his front door? Like this was a lot more blatant and obvious crime that would have had sweeping ramifications for the entire country, and this guy gets less than 10 years. It's insane. I listened to Tales from the Inverted World this morning. That was interesting. Did they have some interesting stuff to say today? Or last night, whichever. I think public execution should be a mandatory 6th grade field trip. Oh man, I don't know about 6th grade field trip. Maybe like a senior in high school. Like hear me out, Tactical Tinker. Seniors in high school, right? Most of them are 18. Some of them may be 17. Some of them may be 19, depending. But they're all within that age bracket, right? I think they should see a public execution. Absolutely. Like, hey kids. Hey kids, you're about to not be kids anymore, and if you go out into the world and decide to be a piece of shit, this is what happens. Yes, I think that's great. Joe Exotic did call in, so they did get him to call in. I might have to tune in for that then. Guys, go watch Inverted World. Go watch Inverted World. Tales from the Inverted World. Go watch them. They had Joe Exotic called in. He did mention that he was hoping that he'd be able to call in from jail, so that's it. Really interesting. That picture of Iryna looking up infuriates me. She is so scared, so confused. I know. I'm sorry. I'll take that off screen. I'm sorry. No, I know you. No one likes to look at that. It's a terrible image. It's a terrible image, and it really symbolizes where we're at in this country. I think. Tyler, you got 13-year-olds doing murder. I know we do. It's terrible. I think that if someone tries to use the insanity plea or the incompetence plea, they should be permanently marked as too dumb or too crazy to be in normal life. I think in most states that is the case. I think in most states, looks like, I think Rebel with No Yell shared the link there for Tales from the Inverted World. So guys, go check that out after this stream. Go check that out after this stream. But I think that is the case in a lot of states, Son of Wiggum. I think a lot of states actually do just say, all right, you're incompetent, you're insane, just life in prison. Just, we don't want to deal with you. Life in prison.